Hi, Scorpio. You may want to spend some time meditating on that card as well. See what you pick up with your powerful intuition. All right, so what you're meant to do with this is the Justice card in reverse. What you're meant to not do is the Eight of Fire. What you can look forward to regardless is a Four of Air, a period of rest, recuperation. We do have the Two of Cups under the deck. Beautiful energy of sharing here. Okay, so what you're meant to do here with the Justice card in reverse is look at areas of your life, Scorpio, where perhaps you have not been completely fair or balanced, right? It's major arcana energy, and whenever I see the Justice card, it does show that there is a certain degree of karmic consideration happening. And when the Justice card is in reverse, it's important that we look at where we are possibly betraying our own value systems in order to achieve a short-term goal. So, this is going to vary for each individual, of course, and for singles versus couples. If you are single, look at where you may have been going into a relationship or wanting to date people or even into the bedroom, where you have been saying it's okay to your mind, but your heart has been lacking the emotional connection that you've been desiring. I also feel like it could be, people who are engaging in extramarital affairs here as well. It's in focus here. So look at where you've been out of balance in this way. Not in terms of judgment, like it's wrong, but where it feels right or doesn't feel right to your own value system. It's important. It's not about other people's value system. It's your own. Where it feels right and true for you. Where have you been possibly ignoring this aspect of yourself? Now, what you're meant to not do or stop doing is don't ghost here. With the Eight of Fire, it's important that you keep communication flowing. Don't just shut it down. And when you do engage in conversations or exchanges with others, it's important that you don't hold back on the truth. Say the whole truth. Don't be withholding, and what we can look forward to regardless is the Four of Air, a period of rest before you really truly make any long-lasting decision. We do have the Reconsider card, and so in order to reconsider or consider things differently, you have to give yourself a little bit of time away from the distractions that are causing you to possibly make a rash decision that's not in the best interest of what your soul wants. The Justice card does speak to reciprocity. It speaks to alignment here, karmic justice, your karma being a focal point, your actions being a focal point here. And in the reverse is asking that you look at where this may not be occurring in your life presently. We all experience these energies at different times. It looks like for December, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising is having an opportunity to consider this. I do love that we have the improving health, and we have the Two of Cups under the deck, the Two of Water in this deck. So it does speak to a general improvement, things working out. Again, this is about reciprocity, sharing, affection, beautiful energy. And so things are improving. Your health is improving. Possibly your relationship health is improving. If you are single, things are improving because you are getting clearer and clearer on what's right for you and what's not right for you. You're speaking your whole truth, not half-truths. And you are considering things, love, relationship, dating, couple, marriage, relationships, from a place where you are open to other considerations other than just the fact that this person's really hot or they bring a certain amount of financial security in or anything like that. Again, we're only talking about December, and you can listen to your other reading if you want additional guidance. You can also listen to it on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher, so you don't just have to watch the video. huge energies, allow time to reconsider the ways that you've been doing things. Because when the Judgment card is in the reverse, you're not hearing the call. You're just saying, "Oh, screw it. I'll just do whatever. I'm not going to put my whole effort into this." You're not wanting to ascend to the next level. You're ignoring the call to do so. Let's say in terms of when you think about the Judgment card, it is that the final call, the final judgment before ascension, right? And so here, when it's in the reverse, you're being asked to look at this, because this is setting, again, a long-lasting trend here. And so in the bedroom, are you just saying screw it and just, jumping into the sack with whomever? Or are you really honoring your own value system and your own needs, wants, and desires in terms of, mind, body, spirit, not just your physicality? It's a lot of messages there, and it's intense energy, and this is why there's the Reconsider card and that Four of Air there. You are improving things. You're wanting to improve things, and things are indeed improving, but they need time, to improve. So it's a very gentle, kind energy that you're being asked to work with in this time frame. Now, what you're meant to not do or stop doing, we have the Maiden of Wands. So if you have been flaking on people, even on your own value system, but certainly in terms of engagements, don't just flake, don't just ghost. Goes back with the Eight of Wands. Don't just not communicate. The more that you can speak your truth during this time period, and as opposed to just kind of trying to sidle away from responsibilities or engagements that you have agreed to. It will help you to feel more empowered, because whenever we try to avoid something, the Page of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Wands in reverse is a little bit of that energy of avoidance, and that can often be a slippery slope towards self-judgment. I'm not, I'm in this perennial state of being the this word I'm thinking of. I can't think of it right now, but where you're so elusive that it begins to erode your self-confidence, because you forget why you're being elusive, and suddenly you feel like you're the convict who's escaped from jail, and everyone's searching for you, and you're kind of like, oh no, and so then you begin to adopt some of that energy, and I don't know why I'm going down that road, but that's how it's coming in. So be aware of that. Be aware of that, because it does have consequences, not necessarily even with other people, but just within your own confidence system. Because we have the Justice card in reverse, we have the Arising card in reverse in terms of what you're meant to do. You're meant to focus on where that energy is present in your life, and especially in terms of the bedroom. If you're not wanting to engage in physical activity with people, or someone, even with your partner, don't just say, oh, I have a headache, or I have to work late. Actually say, it's just, there's certain things that just aren't working for me in our relationship right now, and I'm just not feeling as amorous, or whatever words you like to use, as I have in the past. And I think that it might be a good idea for us to have those difficult conversations together. And if you're single and you don't necessarily want to have the conversation with the individual, you can just say flat out, I don't want to. You don't have to make any, you don't have to give any reasoning, but don't just, skirt it. Don't just try to avoid it as best you can. Be as upfront and direct as you can be. And what you can look forward to regardless here is the Page of the Maiden of Swords in reverse. It may be, regardless, that there is a certain degree of, let's say, inaccurate understanding of others, or others of you. This is why it's so important for you to be upfront, because when the Maiden of Swords is in reverse, someone has the wrong impression, and it may be that they have the wrong impression of you in the bedroom, and it's your responsibility, not for them, but for your own sense of self-awareness, self-mastery, self-confidence, to set them right, to let them understand that you just don't want to, because that's how you feel in the moment. Again, if you're single, you don't necessarily owe anyone any explanation other than not to flake on them, to be honest that you are not going to engage in that. But if you feel safe and you're in an intimate partnership, it's okay to begin to say more clearly what it is you want and why you don't want to do certain things, to begin to correct any misunderstandings or misperceptions about who you are. And it may be also that you have a misperception about who someone else is here that you are working to correct. We have the Eight of Pentacles as well under the deck in the reverse, kind of an energy of what we've already been talking about. When it's in the reverse, you're not paying attention to the details. You're not paying attention to where things are your responsibility. Maybe you're creating situations where you keep engaging. Say you're single, you keep having relationships or even encounters where it doesn't work out. Well, where have you not been truthful and honest with yourself here? Where have you just been going with the flow? That screw it attitude, well, there's always, I think I've mentioned this in other videos. There's a wonderful motivational speaker named Jim Rohn, who passed on many years ago, but I saw him many years ago. And one quote that stood with me through all this time is, casualness leads to casualty. And I don't know if he made that up or if he read it somewhere, but I just remember it from his seminar. And I think that's so true, and that speaks to what's going on here in a lot of ways with the Justice in reverse and the Arising card in reverse. It's not working for you anymore. You're working to improve the health of your life, of your situation, of your relationships. And so this is why you're being asked to take a little bit of time with the Reconsider card and the Four of Air, wherever it went. Allow some time and some space to integrate and understand and integrate some of the changes you're wanting, some of the improvements and corrections you're wanting. Again, we have a misperception here and an incorrect understanding of someone. Either they have a misperception of you, or you are misunderstanding their desires, their needs, their wants, their agendas. So very interesting energy for you, Scorpio. Be as kind and gentle upon yourself as you can be. Again, we have that Two of Cups as the underlying energy here. Two of Water, so lovely. If you're not partnered, be that kind, gentle partner that you're wanting to see in another with yourself, starting with the self-talk, the self-judgment, the ways that you treat yourself, taking good care of your health, your body, your physicality, your spiritual needs, your emotional desires, by being kind to yourself first and foremost. So I hope you find that helpful, Scorpio. I wish you much love.